The big one.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
Well guys, if you stay tuned in the last video, I told you I had a big reveal. Here it is. We got some new shoes for the Mazda 3. So what do we have here? We have the newly released Anovia Canos. They are in a gunmetal finish. These are 18 by 8.5s, and I'm sitting on some Vercelli Strada 235/40 R18s. Now you may be thinking to yourself, Vercelli Strada, never heard of that tire company. I haven't either, but when I was researching wheels and tires, I did my shopping from Fitment Industries. This was their most highly reviewed tire, and there were some insanely great reviews on this tire. Now these tires came in right at about $100 a tire.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
And you can even check on Amazon, and I believe you can get them for about $85 to $90. So I know what you're thinking. Oh, this guy spent all his money on wheels and got a cheap tire.
How could you, Mr.
Well, that's kind of true, but kind of not. It was actually between these and the Continental DWS 06 Plus, and I was gonna pull the trigger on those, but I figured, let me just grab these. They're a cheaper tire. They have tons and tons of great reviews, and I can save myself some money. Ultimately, I'll do a couple reviews on these tires just to see how they hold up, and I'll let you guys know my thoughts and opinions after driving them for a little while. But they're rated as a high performance all season tire. So with the tires out of the way, let's talk about the wheels. Like I said, these are the Canos. They are newly released, I want to say maybe about 4 or 5 months ago now. When I first saw them, I knew I had to have them. I am a sucker for the 7-spoke design. So this wheel comes in 2 finishes. It comes in a chrome and it comes in this gunmetal. I've never been the biggest fan of chrome. They look pretty good on some of the cars in their gallery, but chrome really is for me. Now you're probably asking yourself, Brandon, why don't you just stick with your OEM black wheels? I've had black wheels in the past. I'm kind of over it. I've had them on my FJ, I've had them on my Subaru, I have them on my Mazda now. I want something different. I wanted to stand out. And one thing I wanted to do, and it was a really hard decision, I was going to get some bronze wheels. I see a lot of cars in the Subaru community that are white with bronze rims, and it looks so good. I wanted to replicate that for the Mazda 3. The color options weren't that great, weren't really what I envisioned, and it would just be 2 contrasting colors. I was actually torn between these wheels and the Enkei TM7s. Now the reason I went with these wheels, they didn't come in the offset that I wanted. These are going to be a plus 35 offset. The Enkei TM7s came in a plus 38, which if you're looking for the perfect wheel fitment for this vehicle, it's going to be a plus 38. From all the research that I've done, a plus 38 gives you a near vertical wheel fitment. Plus 35 is going to give us like a slight poke, but it's not going to be anything too major. A little poke doesn't hurt anybody.
Take this for example. This rim is 18 times 8.5, offset 35. You look closely, this rim is actually currently sitting outside the car fender.
I believe when I looked on a couple forums, the factory wheels, they weigh about 26 pounds. These bad boys came in at around, I want to say 18 or 19 pounds. I'll put a picture up of the actual true weight of these wheels. And plus I wanted something a little more performance oriented. These wheels are actually rotary forged, whereas those are cast wheels. Cast wheels are heavier. Rotary forged wheels are built stronger and a lot lighter.
Process where they take hydraulic rollers to a wheel that's being spun and heated, and then these hydraulic rollers apply pressure to the inside of the barrel, stretching the barrel to the appropriate width, making the wheel lighter and stronger. Pretty cool, huh?
So another reason why I went with Anovia is because they are a smaller company, and I'm a huge proprietor for supporting small businesses, and they were kind enough to send me a free mystery box. Who doesn't want free stuff? Now with one of our OEM wheels off, we're gonna have ourselves a weigh off and see how much weight we are gonna be saving with these new wheels. Let's start with our OEM factory wheels. Now this may not be the best way to weigh them, but this is how we're gonna do it. So let's see, we got 48.8. So let's say about 49 pounds, okay? 49 pounds, give or take, for our OEM wheels. Now we are gonna weigh our brand new wheels and see what we have. 40.8. So we just finished our weigh off, and wow, the results were pretty huge. So 41 pounds compared to 49 pounds, giving us a grand total for our brand new wheels. We are looking at about 164 pounds for all 4. And compared to our old wheels, we are looking at about 196 for all 4 wheels. And if we do our math right, we're looking at about 32 pounds of weight difference. You may not see as a lot, that's pretty significant significant considering that this is an 8.5 wide and this is a 7.5 wide. This is a 235, which is 2 sizes bigger than this, which is a 215/45. For a much bigger wheel, that's pretty significant. 32-pound weight difference. You can tell that this is a nice little skinny boy. This is a nice thick boy with 2 C's. But in the grand scheme of things, when you're trying to go faster, you want less weight. Less weight means more power, meaning we will also get maybe a little bit better gas mileage, even though this thing already gets me like about 33 miles a gallon. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I will end up doing a tire review. I can't really compare the two, but I will give my 2 cents on these factory wheels. They're great. They look great. The Bridgestone Torenzas, whatever they're called, these tires, they're not performance oriented at all. If you go back and look at my HKS clips of me doing takeoffs and stuff like that, my exhaust clip videos, these things do not hook at all. Now, I will say that in that term, I've never had any hydroplaning issues. They drive great. They are kind of loud, but in terms of comfort, they're pretty comfortable, but they are kind of heavy. You can definitely feel the weight. So they're a solid tire for maybe just a regular commuter, which is probably why they're thrown on this car. But in terms of spirited driving, fun driving, just an overall better driving experience, these tires kind of suck. And these are not on top of anybody's list. So that's why we're getting rid of these and going with these. So without further ado, let's go ahead and install these bad boys. Now, when I bought these wheels, they specifically said that you need aftermarket lug nuts. So I went ahead and picked some aftermarket lug nuts up from Mishimoto. These are open-ended lug nuts. They're kind of tuner-like lug nuts, so they look pretty cool. All right, so we've moved on to the front. We have it complete. I have it torqued down. Now, one thing that freaking sucks, man. Problem wasn't in the back, but it is on the front. Right here in the center, we have I want to say this is a rotor bolt, hub bolt, I don't know. I can't fit on my Inovia cap, which sucks. It's just gonna have to be exposed. It is what it is. Now what we have to do is clear the front fitment. Any piece of cardboard, we're gonna stick this underneath the wheel, and we're gonna lower the car back down. Then we're gonna turn the car on and check our turn radius. We're gonna turn it both ways, make sure we have no clearance issues. We shouldn't have any, but this is something that you need to check, because on Inovia's instructions, they say do your test fitment, because after you drive them, you can't return them. So do your test fitment and you'll be good. And there we go, guys. As you saw, we had no turning radius issues. We had no rubbing, no scrubbing. So if you want to run a 235/40, you can without any issues. And I am lowered on Eibach lowering springs, so if you are stock, you will have no problems. If you're on Eibach, you'll have no problems. Cork Sport is a little bit lower of a spring, so I can't speak on that one. You may have problems, you may not. To answer any last minute questions, these are the 235/40 tires. These are 18 by 8.5 wheels with a plus 35 offset. So this has been a fun install today, guys. We will see you in the next video. Peace.